Welcome to part two. So the first thing we're going to do is just go ahead and click on the title of your new map. This is my Maps Lab one, so this is the one that we're working on, CrowdMap. So as you can see, we have this map right here, centered on Nairobi. That's the capital of Kenya. And of course, that's because Ushahidi started in relation to an election in Nairobi. Um, there's a timeline here. We have no past stuff. It's all very underwhelming because there's nothing on there yet. But this is the forward-facing, the front-facing face of your map. Anyone in the world can go to maplab.crowdmap.com and see this. See, that looks just like this. I'm not logged in. There, it looks just like that. And so, we want to be able to kind of set up this map a bit before we get going. So click on your portrait, go to your dashboard. And as you can see, there's a little get you set up thing. Select a theme. I don't know. I don't really care about the theme. This one looks nice. Why not? Save the setting. Create an about page. So change map settings. Incomplete. For some reason, I can't click on this. That's annoying, but I know where it is. So you go to settings. Here are the site settings. When it says site, it means map. So you can do a lot of stuff to personalize it in here. But I don't really see much that we need to personalize other than probably the time setting, which is where time zone. We're in Pacific, or we're in America, Los Angeles. It's down here somewhere. Okay, L. There we go, LA. That's all I'll change for right now. There are some other important settings that we don't need to worry about at this moment. Oh, email alerts address, that would be mine. Alright, so this is probably the most important thing that you're going to want to set. We probably will not be doing much mapping in Kenya, so we need to change the default position of where the map centers on when someone goes to it. Like someone went to maplab001.crowdmap.com and centers on Nairobi, Kenya. But let's say that we want it to be on Santa Cruz. So we're going to do the United States. And we're going to specifically zero in on UC Santa Cruz. More specifically, I guess, the Everett office. Where are we? We're about right here, I think. See how accurate that was. River Park. Where are we? Okay, we're over here. There we are. Social science 2. We're like right here. I'd say I'm sitting right here right now. So there we go. And we can also set the level of zoom that it's going to be. This is 2 inside, that's 2 inside. I'd say that this is 2 zoomed out. There, that gives a pretty good approximation of Santa Cruz. Now, the next thing is that this might not look familiar to you, this base map. Like, if you zoom in, you see that it's incredibly detailed. Like, if you looked at Google Maps, you probably have not seen this level of detail here at UC Santa Cruz. Like, you can see that all the paths are mapped out. Like, there's places for picnic benches. Like, it's actually quite insane. So where was my zoom level? I need to reset that. There we go. So, and that's because over here, you can set the map provider. OSM Mapnik, that's OpenStreetMaps. And they are pretty awesome. Like, some parts of the world you can only use OpenStreetMaps to get an accurate representation of what's around you. Here at UC Santa Cruz, some classes will incorporate OpenStreetMaps into their curriculum, and they'll have students going out and mapping things like picnic benches and bridges and bathrooms. And so, consequently, UC Santa Cruz's map is on OpenStreetMaps is far, far, far more detailed than Google Maps. And we can actually use Google Maps. And there we go. You might want to have this for a more cleaner overlay, but I say you should try out OpenStreetMaps just to get yourself familiar with it. So I'm going to keep it on OSM. There we go. Cluster reports on map. Keep that yes. You can change the default icon. As default, it's just like a little red circle. Anyway, save them settings. And finally, the categories. Again, I cannot click that link, which is annoying, but whatever. To change categories, you go to Manage. Here's Categories. So a component of CrowdMap or Ushahidi is that these are going to be maps of something. I know that sounds silly to say, but it's going to be a map of something. So a map of wildfires, a map of incidences where you see people littering, or a map of times that you saw, a map of places that you saw animals while you were walking around town. And so it only makes sense that you categorize these things. So let's pretend that this is a map about animals that you saw. So I'll change this to cat. We're going to pretend that this map is a map that I and other people are using to document the times that they were walking around UC Santa Cruz and saw an animal. For number 3, let's change this to, let's have it be birds. And let's make a new category for ourselves, but let's also make it a child category of birds. So it's not enough that I saw birds, I saw a robin. See, it is a child of birds. So if someone wanted to be specific, then you can see birds. The color field is required. Burp. Since it's a robin, let's say orange. Ah. Always get these things right the first time. It's one of those programs that kicks you back to the start sometimes. Ah, I forgot that. Okay, well I can edit it. There we go. So, robin is a child, it's a subcategory of birds. What's another way you could apply this? You could say that this is a map of incidences in which you saw somebody littering. And so you could have three categories: solid waste, liquid waste, gaseous waste. And then under solid waste, you could say that the waste was styrofoam, or it was food waste. Yeah, yeah, orange peels. Those aren't, you're not supposed to throw those away. But anyway, as you can see, that it's important to categorize things because it helps people basically, digest the data that you're giving them. I mean, that's the whole reason why we put things in map form, and then we can make them more easily be seeable. Okay, I saved that. So what's next? So that annoying little thing of red squares is gone. That means that we finished the setup checklist. Meet me over in video 3, and we'll talk about reports.